everyone, this is Ridley. They just released Acheron's Lightcone info, and what a Lightcone. This just might be the most must-pull Lightcone out of them all. For how generous Star Rail seems to be, they sure do a really good job at making you want to pull for not only the character, but also their Lightcone. Previously, there was Jingyuan's Lightcone, who you wanted to pull for every erudition character. I know a bunch of you pulled it for your QQ. Then there was Blade's Lightcone, Jingliu's Lightcone, and now we have Acheron's Lightcone. The first thing that stood out to me about Acheron's Lightcone was that it inflicts empty bubbles, which seems to be a debuff. Acheron's core gameplay revolves around applying debuffs to enemies in order to build up her ultimate charges. At 9 charges, she can unleash her ultimate. We know from her skill descriptions that her skill gives her 1 charge and also inflicts Crimson Knot on enemy targets. I initially assumed Crimson Knot is a debuff, but from the recent livestream footage with Acheron and Pella, we can see that Pella's defense down shows up as a debuff with a down arrow, but this effect next to it with the flower does not. So Crimson Knot might be one of those other effects that are not counted as debuffs, sort of like Hanya's Burden and Clara's Counter, which does not add to the total debuff count. This empty bubbles effect also seems really OP because it doesn't rely on any effect hit rate. Usually Nihility Lightcone say something like 100% base chance to inflict some status. This Lightcone just inflicts. So Acheron doesn't need to build any EHR, and this extra instance of debuff means that she will likely be able to get 1 more charge when she uses either her basic attack or a skill. The second thing about this Lightcone is that it has the highest base attack out of all the Lightcones. Usually 5-star DPS Lightcones have 582 attack, but Acheron's has 635. Only Dill's Lightcone also has the same. The extra 53 base attack is pretty much a free 4% overall damage increase. Acheron's Lightcone also comes with 36% crit damage and 24% bonus damage, along with another 24% bonus damage on her ultimate. This kind of reminds me of Jingyuan's Lightcone, which is one of the best Lightcones in the game. The third and most unfortunate thing about Acheron's Lightcone is that comparatively, all the other Nihility Lightcones does not seem very strong for her. Since Acheron does not seem to deal any damage over time and does not need to build any effect hit rate. Break effect also does not seem that great for Acheron, though given that her ultimate seems to deplete enemy toughness regardless of their weakness types. Break effect Acheron could be interesting to look into. Looking through some potential alternatives, notably, the Aether Code debuff on Silverwolf's 5-star Lightcone is single target and also does not increase the damage of the attack that applies it. So Acheron loses out on a lot of damage when using this Lightcone, in addition to having to build some effect hit rate to guarantee the Aether Code. Welt signature only buffs her attack on skill usage and also does not apply any debuffs. Kafka's Lightcone seemingly has all useful stats and effects since it buffs bonus damage, speed, and even provides a debuff on attacks. However, when you compare 24% bonus damage and 14.4% speed versus the 36% crit damage, 24% bonus damage, and 24% ultimate damage, along with the 53 more base attack, there is a huge difference in damage between the 2 Lightcones, and you're likely better off going with Good Night Sleep Well, which brings us to the 4-star Lightcone options. Resolution does provide a nice debuff, but given that it has no additional stat benefits, in addition to having to build effect hit rate to guarantee the debuff, you miss out on too much damage compared to probably her best alternative if you don't have her signature. Good Night Sleep Well. At S5, Good Night Sleep Well can provide up to 72% bonus damage, provided you have enough debuffs. But it's unfortunate that the Lightcone itself does not inflict any debuff, and suffers from a low base attack of 476, which is already a damage loss of at least 10%. In summary, Acheron's Lightcone looks really good for her, and they very clearly designed it to provide heavy incentives to players to pull for it. Not only does it apply an unconditional debuff to every target Acheron hits with her attacks, which lets her stack up charges for her ultimate quicker, it also gives an insane damage boost in the high base attack, damage bonuses, and extra crit damage. The only silver lining here is that they did put Good Night Sleep Well on the banner as well. This Lightcone has not been featured for a long time and might just turn out to be the second best option for Acheron. So in the event that you don't have enough pulls to guarantee her signature, hopefully you can pick up a few copies of Good Night Sleep Well in the process. When Acheron releases, I'll release another video going over the exact damage differences between the different Lightcones. Thank you for watching, and good night and sleep well. I mean, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments if you will personally be pulling for the Lightcone.